Welcome to my presentation, Travel Broadens the Mind. I am and always have been a firm believer that travel is an important part of learning about the world around us. I know for myself that I have learned more from traveling than I ever learned in school. One of the major benefits of travel is that it takes us out of our comfort zones and requires us to be an active participant in our lives. My travel experience began when I was in high school. During my junior year, I joined an organization called Amigos de las Americas. Amigos is an organization based in Houston, Texas, that provides high school and college students with community service opportunities in Latin America during the summer. At just 16, I was selected to be part of a team that would vaccinate students and agricultural workers in rural Paraguay. I trained for a year and then, with a newly minted passport, boarded a plane by myself to fly somewhere I had never been before. It was exciting and terrifying at the same time. It was the grand adventure. This was my first time on a plane and my first time out of the country, and I was meeting up with fellow volunteers whom I'd never met before. This experience taught me to be courageous, confident, and adventuresome. I would continue working with Amigos through my college years, traveling to Bolivia, Peru, Nicaragua, and Honduras. Traveling builds confidence. It's inevitable that when you're traveling that something's going to happen. Whether it's going to delay your flight or a flight's going to get canceled, you're going to miss a connection, you're going to lose your bags. All of these things have to be dealt with in the moment. And one of the things that it requires you to do is to be present in that moment, to be an active participant in your life. And it teaches you that you can adapt to change. You can deal with these obstacles, that you can find another flight, that you can buy clothes if they lose your bags. The other things that happen, when you're traveling is that you have to deal with foreign transit systems. You have to look at signs that are unintelligible and find your way. You have to deal with different bathrooms. And I had this personal experience when I went to Japan. So I walked into a restroom and saw a squat toilet for the first time. It was quite comical trying to figure out how to use that properly, but all in all, I laughed about it and moved on with my adventures. But that's one of the things that travel really does, is it helps you become confident. It shows you that you can adapt to the challenges that come, that you can find your way, and that you can Another big benefit of travel is that it helps to build cultural sensitivity. This is kind of a hard thing to explain to a lot of people, and I found this quote online that I think sums it up fairly well. Cultural sensitivity is being aware that cultural differences and similarities between people exist without assigning them a value, positive or negative, better or worse, right or wrong. Basically, what this is telling us is that we can't use our own personal measuring stick to determine if something is better or worse. The only fair thing that we can say is that it's different. And in a lot of cases, we need to revel in this difference, because globalization is making the world a much smaller place. It's making it much more uniform. And so these differences are vibrant and make our lives, a better place. Some of the things that you need to be aware when you're traveling, and things that build cultural sensitivity, is that in various parts of the world there is a different concept of time. When doing business in Latin America, you'd set an appointment for 9 o'clock and they might not show up until 9:30 or 10. And to them that was completely acceptable, because it was more important that you were having the appointment than at what time it was being had at. So it didn't matter. It didn't have any importance to them that the meeting was set for 9 and they actually showed up at 10, because to them the most important thing is that you were having the meeting. Another big difference that comes about is meal times. This one took me for a loop the first time I traveled to Spain. The Spanish have a very different mealtime regimen. Lunch is generally from about 2 to about 4 in the afternoon. And dinner's like from 9 to midnight. So if you go out and try to find dinner at 6 o'clock in the evening, you're not going to find much. But this is one of these things that you have to be cognizant that there are differences, and that it's not necessarily better or worse, right or wrong. It's just different. I know that traveling has made me a better person. As I stated in the beginning, I think I've learned more from traveling than I ever have in school. It's taught me that there are many ways to look at life, many ways to solve problems, many ways to laugh, to love, and to live. It has made me a more tolerant person. I realize that my way is not the only way, and it may not even be the best way. And it also has made me a more empathetic person. And I would encourage everyone to travel. I think that travel truly broadens your mind, gives you a global perspective, allows you to see different points of views, experience different cultures, to live in the moment. This is one of my favorite quotes by Lauren Fish. It says, "Find life experiences and swallow them whole. Travel. Meet many people. Go down some dead ends and explore dark alleys. Try everything. Exhaust yourself in the glorious pursuit of life." These are words to live by. If you have the ability to travel, travel. You will never regret the time you've spent. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.